Hello, everyone. It's me, Allison. The show is about to start, but just real fast, a quick reminder. I wanted to tell you guys, if you are doing some shopping, perhaps some Black Friday shopping, holiday shopping, etc.,
like Christmas type shopping,
any sort of shopping at all, I have put together some lists on Amazon.
Lists with things
stuff
on them?
Daniel, just pipe down for 1 second. Beauty stuff, makeup stuff, home stuff, kids stuff, podcast equipment, books I recommend, all of this stuff. And
Daniel stuff?
Oh yeah, Daniel's Corner, where I put stuff that I know that he likes. But Daniel has recently gotten way more involved, and he put together a special Christmas spectacular gift guide for you.
You guys will not even believe it. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what's on there, but it's literally some things.
Lots of things. And a whole big caption explaining his process. If you know someone
who's exactly like me, they are going to love it.
And here's where you go to see all of this. Amazon.com/shop/Allison Rosen. Amazon.com/shop/Allison Rosen.
And we'll be adding to it.
It's nonstop, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the show.
Bye.
You guys, I lied. I said the show was starting right now, but I have one more quick announcement. I'm co-hosting a new podcast. It's brand new. It's called Upworthy Weekly. I'm co-hosting it with a guy named Todd Perry, who I'm having so much fun with, although he is wrong about so many things, especially Christmas music, but also other stuff. But anyway, Upworthy Weekly, we come out on Saturdays. Please give it a listen. Subscribe. If you like what you're hearing, leave us a comment, a review on Apple Podcasts. That helps out the show so much, especially because we are brand new. As I've said, between 1 and 4 times right now, I've lost track. But anyway, please give it a listen. It's a lighthearted news podcast. We're taking a look at the most popular and engaging stories from the week before that ran on Upworthy. And it's just what your holidays need. And then when we're past the holidays, it's just what that part of the year needs. It's just exactly what you need. Please listen to it. Upworthy Weekly, new episodes every Saturday, wherever you get your podcasts.
And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes her guest. She's an actress and comedian who swears she did not get pregnant just to have access to some fresh vernix. It's Jackie Johnson. And he's a comedian, writer, and baker who is very excited to announce that his latest cookie has been optioned for a Netflix limited series. It's Kevin T. Porter. Chef Jeff is here to deny allegations that it was his passionate lovemaking that killed Bob Saget. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the love bus and say hello to your new best friend, Allison Rosen.
Hello, my little oat boats. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate was sent in on Patreon. By Jill Pooh 3. Oat boats it was in honor of Bob Saget, who Daniel made a very questionable joke about before in the intro. And I guess oat boats were the cereal that were always featured. Oat Boats was the cereal that was always featured on Full House. Anyway, yes, I am on Patreon. You get bonus episodes of The Friend Zone. That's my Patreon podcast. There's a level where you can see where you get the video. And by the way, while the theme song was playing, there was so much dancing. It was amazing. Jackie's bump enjoyed the song. Jackie's butt enjoyed the song. Kevin got up and danced, but because of his background, we just periodically saw his hands appear and then parts of his body. And it was, see, now he's disappearing. It was super cool. And then also there's a level where you can text me and I'll text you back. We do Zoom parties. And if you sign up for an annual subscription, you get 2 months free. So 12 months for the price of 10. Okay, I'm very excited to welcome back my guest to the show, Jackie Johnson. Hello.
Did you notice how big my butt has gotten in the video?
I mean, I just thought it looked juicy and thick with 2 C's.
It is. And at first I was like, why is my butt getting big too? And my sister told me that The Lord above makes your butt bigger as your bump gets bigger so that you don't fall over.
Oh my God. I never thought about that.
The Lord is always thinking.
So God is real? Wait a minute.
Officially.
That doesn't. Yeah, but only with pregnant women. All the guys with beer bellies, he doesn't have the same.
Right.
Most guys with beer bellies ain't got no ass.
That's what I'm saying.
But most guys with beer bellies believe in God.
I know.
Interesting conundrum.
Contradictingly, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get into all of that. We'll get into how this pregnancy is going. We'll catch up with you, etc. We'll find out whether you know what vernix is, because, well, I'll just say right now, moments before the, okay. No, you know what? I'm going to introduce everyone, and then I'm going to say what I was going to say. Daniel already has a defensive look on his face. And yes, I am going to say something that's going to make you feel defensive. Kevin Porter, welcome back. It's been way too long. Nice to see you.
Oh, my God. Happy 2022 to us all. I'm still writing 2021 on all my podcast checks. But we're here.
On my traveler's checks.
Praise the Lord. It feels good to be back.
It's good to be back. This is the original Dream Team, right?
Yes.
Weren't we,
I agree with that.
This was the last in person before before lockdown, right?
Was it?
No. Sorry. It was.
Did we cause
COVID? It was Jackie and Ken Reed.
We did that ill-advised four-way kiss that Allison insisted we do, and we were like, Allison, I don't want to, including Dan. Dan was saying that too. He was like, I don't want to.
Right.
But we didn't want to be rude.
And I was the one who was pushing for the four-way kiss. And as we leaned in, I thought, I hope nothing happens that'll cause me to have to stay home for 2 to 3 years. Mm-hmm. And then that was the wrong thought to have at that moment. And then I heard like a little glitter through the air, and then it happened. No, but we bring this up every time I see you, Kevin, which is just
my prediction.
Podcasting. Yes.
My prediction. Yeah.
Back in like April or March of 2020, you're like, we're still going to be in our houses in December.
Yep.
And I was like, what? Because at that time, I found out that, like, I think Jenna's kids' preschool had said they were going to close until June, and that seemed insane. So your prediction was so just shocking and bleak. And then now look at us.
And now what I meant to add was it was December 2025 that I was talking about.
Oh my God. I just saw, okay, you know what? We'll get into all that.
We'll get into it.
Yes, we'll get into it. Daniel, hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thank
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Jeff Fox filling in for Tone Zone. Hello, welcome back.
Hi, Allison. Again, sorry, no dancing for me in the beginning, but as we established last episode, I was rooting for the John Lithgow character in Footloose. I found him super relatable.
Wow.
That's just who I am.
That's nasty.
Yeah, I'm a non-dancer as well. And one of the things that the people who get texts from me on Patreon received earlier was a 17-second video of Elliot just cutting loose. He loves to dance.
Kids
and
got moves.
Represent, because Daniel and I have talked about, in fact, in my book, there's an essay on how I don't love to dance, but Daniel does, or like at least appreciates it as a form of expression. And when I watch Elliot dancing, I'm like, he is so uninhibited. He's 4. He's so uninhibited. He is just moving his body the way he feels. And he just, like,
That's nice.
Joy exudes from him. I'm
That's
the opposite.
my boy. That's my boy right there.
Yeah,
Right.
It's amazing.
I'm doing the same thing, though. I'm letting my body exude the way I feel, which is just sit here. It's my truth.
Yeah,
And be excited about nothing. So.
I like to think that when I dance, I suck joy from other people.
Yeah.
Like he gives
Your joy
off
vacuum.
Exactly. Okay. So, oh my God, look
my
at
God.
us.
Wait.
Oh, there's Oliver. Okay, so Kevin's background has switched from Monterey to Daniel and my pointy noses and Oliver, our first dog. He's made it our background. Oh, okay. So anyway, longtime listeners know, especially Jeff, Daniel likes to write his intros like moments. Daniel works best with a lot of pressure. He likes to write his intros just moments before the show.
Like a douche.
When we did the show live at Bumbershoot many years ago, like in the car on the way over to the theater, he was coming up with some jokes for the intro. And the thing that amazed me was he came up with really funny jokes. I cannot, like, I'm a last minute person, but not to the level Daniel is. I don't, if someone wants to have a conversation with me 15 to 30 minutes before a show, I'm not really there. Like, I'm in show mode. So anyway, I was in the bathroom like for 6 minutes before I logged into Zoom, and Daniel's like, "Hey, honey, what's that stuff that covers a baby's skin called?" And normally I would know, but because I'm in show mode, I said, "I don't know." But then I remembered. But anyway, Jackie, did you know? Because I knew exactly where he was going.
No, I Googled it. I Googled it a few minutes ago. And is it the goo when they come out, or is it the hair that's growing on them right now?
No.
It's like a white sort of.
It's like a creamy substance that they're.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to like rub it into their skin because it's actually it's like nature's lotion.
When they come out, they have sort of a gray cast to them. They look like they put on mineral sunscreen
That's
in
the
Hawaii
vernix,
to go wakeboarding. Yeah.
Yes, that's the vernix. And then I think the hair is called Lanugo hair. But anyway, I knew where Daniel was headed with that.
But isn't it like full of stem cells and stuff? It's like a really great version.
All right, you guys.
Sorry for making that noise, everyone. I just was really feeling myself.
To be fair to me, I knew what the intro was. I just forgot the name of that thing.
Yeah,
I hadn't written that.
But then by the time I found you, you already knew. So here's my question, Daniel. Does it always work for you to wait until the last minute and wait for inspiration to strike? Like, does it always strike?
I'm not doing it on purpose, but I have a job, and so like oftentimes, like today, I have to work. I can't sit here writing an intro. So then it's like,
hey, listen, no one's accusing you of anything, buddy. Listen, everything's fine. Put the knife down, Daniel. It's cool. We're cool, man.
Also, if I'm always writing at the last minute, when it's not so great, I can just blame it for being in the last minute.
Aha! And we've struck upon an iceberg of truth. Okay.
Pass. Get the fuck out of here.
We have a lot to get to, so I'm going to start with a weighty and controversial topic. It's 2022. Is it time that I stop using so many exclamation points? Because, and I don't mean like 4 exclamation points at the end of a sentence, which for the longest time I hated that, and then all of a sudden I became someone who sometimes does that. But I sent an email to someone earlier, and Jackie's changed her background too. You guys are missing out if you're not on patreon.com/AllisonRosen. Okay, here was my email. Hi! Exclamation point. Would you possibly be available to record our Patreon episode tomorrow or around 5? I know this is short notice, so no worries if that doesn't work. Exclamation point.
Too many.
He wrote back, and it was like, sorry, period. Tuesdays are a tough day for me, period, but I could do this date or this date, period. Oh my God, there's... Okay. Now we're looking at a romantic shot of Bill and Hill Clinton behind Kevin. How do you have all of these at the ready?
Well, for me, this is a very important date, and this is a true fact, but Bill and Hillary Clinton's wedding anniversary is my birthday. Oh. It's also the birthday of Saturday Night Live, October 11th, 1975. Yeah. So many great American institutions were born that day.
I didn't even know that this was Hillary's natural hair that we're looking at. It's reddish and it's curly.
Yeah.
Like Daniel's, but hers is even more reddish. Okay, here's my question. Yes, Jackie, you responded to many exclamation points.
Too many.
Because my exclamation points are me like trying to be like, look, I'm nice, I'm friendly.
I know, but yet, we all see through that.
And that's also the patriarchy internalized in women that makes them think they have to use so many exclamation points.
100%. This is business. You're doing him a favor by putting him on your show.
Yes.
You don't need to act like you're inconveniencing him.
He should pay you to do your show.
He needs to join your Patreon.
Yeah,
okay?
That's right. And by the way, my even saying, I know this is short notice, so no worries if that doesn't work, that's like the verbal equivalent of an exclamation point.
I don't even think you need to say that. I think no worries needs to be gone.
I say it in every one of my emails. Practically.
No worries is implied.
I know. I don't know why I'm so nervous to exist.
You should only specify if worries are present, not if they're not existent.
And how do you say that? Just worries?
Hey, can you do the show tomorrow? I do have some worries. Yours truly. Let's go, Brandon, Allison Rose.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is nervous.
You know, years ago, this guy that I only knew online invited me to, it was some like, what was it? I don't know if it was like a bunch of writers or it was like a salon, a wannabe salon or something.
Was it the Lolita Express?
No, but what is that?
Oh, that's a plane I used to get on a lot back in the day with some friends of mine. I don't do it anymore, though.
Was there a Jeffrey involved on that one?
Yeah. Well, I called him Jeff. Yeah, yeah.
So anyway,
hold on.
I went to this salon of sorts, and the guy was like, "You're so much more smiley online." But then he said, "Oh, I can tell you who it was, actually. I got to remember his name." But then he's like, "No, I prefer the in-person. It's this guy who's like, what is his name? He's Mark or Mike.
Mark Cuban.
No. I think he was born in Russia, and his politics are such where you're like, are you right-wing, or are you just like trying to annoy liberals? Oh, fuck. It'll come to me. Mark or Mike. He's got like a
Mark Zuckerberg,
like a cartoon character.
Mike Wazowski.
No.
Mike Lindell.
I feel like he's been on
Marco
Red Eye.
Polo. Is he a comedian?
No, he's a writer.
Well, do you want to tweet it out and see what responses you get?
No, it'll come to me. He's been on Rogan once.
Mark Bongino?
No,
he's been on Seth Rogen's Storytime once.
No, he's like a littler guy. He's blonde. Like I said, I think he was born in Russia. He enjoys being
I feel like we're playing Guess Who.
This is a dead end.
I know. We have to move on. So anyway, all I'm saying is, ooh, Jackie, you have a halo. Ooh, so much fun. I am like someone who's very distracted by shiny objects. I've got to focus. What is that guy's name? This is not important. Anyway, he said to me, "Oh, wow, you are so much more smiley online." And that's, I think, because of my exclamation point using presents.
Yeah, I get that. I feel that same compulsion as well to exclamation point the hell out of stuff, and no worries if not.
I've stopped. I freed myself from that prison a couple years ago.
How'd you do
going
it?
Back.
Well, you're married. You can do that. I'm single. I got to keep doing this.
Yeah, you do have. You got to rope in the ladies with your exclamation points and your no worries. But
that's what
also
people
married.
Respond to.
Jackie, how'd you do it?
It was either a Natch Butte guest or I read an article about just being a little bit more assertive with your choices and feeling more. Oh, maybe it was my friend Meredith's book, Brag Better.
Oh, I have that book.
Yeah. It's just what you have to offer is valid. You don't need to lessen any blows about anything, and you want to be more professional. And then dealing with my old podcast network, I feel like I was always having to defend myself for certain things. And I just was like, why am I trying to be nice? I don't have to like lessen things. I deserve this, what I'm asking for. And so I just was like, instead of being like, "Hey, so-and-so, exclamation point," I'd go, "Hey, so-and-so, comma." And it's like, it makes such a big difference.
And you're right. People do see through it. Like, I can tell that, oh, this person is not comfortable and they are like an apologetic person. I can tell that by their punctuation. And yet here I am doing it.
You just don't need to. You have a lot to offer, and anyone coming on your show, it gets a benefit from it. So never feel like you need to tiptoe around. Just, if it's last minute, it's last minute. You can say, "I know it's last minute, just seeing if you're available. If you're not, we can schedule another time."
Right.
I basically agree with that. Yeah.
I like
also,
that.
Allison, you should never say "no worries" because that's just always a lie.
There's always a little bit of worry.
Full of worries.
Daniel recently told me that I have resting to-do face, and it's true.
I do too, I think.
That's good. That's a
Does
nice
that mean during sex?
Yeah,
like
to do. My husband.
the butthole, the balls.
No, I mean like
Behind
your
the
mind.
knee.
I mean
No,
like
your
your mind
toes.
is elsewhere. Like you're thinking about doing the dishes later and what's going to be for dinner or whatever.
I think what he means, and Daniel, you'll get a chance to speak eventually.
I don't care.
I think what I took it to mean was that I have a look on my face like I'm thinking of things that need to get done.
You're always running through your to-do list.
That's fair.
There's no off position on the "this is nervous" switch.
Nope.
Correct.
No.
Kevin, put me back on your background. We didn't even address it on the show.
Let's see it. Let's take another look.
Kevin put me on his background.
I know.
That was right after my first marriage, my wedding, and I'm Botox to hell. That's why I have no wrinkles. I just chopped all my hair off.
You look cute.
Is this from 2014, Jackie?
2016.
Honestly, Jackie, you look younger now.
I think it's true.
think so too. I think that's a hairline thing too.
Yeah.
Jackie and Paris, move over, Emily.
Okay, so we need to get into so much. Let me just first, because Jackie mentioned Botox, I need to ask Jackie a gal chat question.
Oh,
the whole song, I love it.
We have a gal. A gal has joined us.
I want to know what you talk about on gal chats. If you're talking about me and about how cool I am, I want to see. I want to know all the secrets that you talk about on gal chats. Talking about gal chats. Can't get enough of that gal chat. I want to know what you talk about on gal chat.
I've never heard this long of a version.
10 more minutes.
Wow.
Okay, Jackie, my question for you.
Yes.
I have recently started looking on TikTok. I've been looking at Botox lip flips because my upper lip is smaller than my lower lip. However, what a lot of people say about this is that talking can be weird and you can't really move your mouth. And I'm like, that sounds like that would be miserable. I've never had Botox. I've been curious about it for a long time. One of these days I will try it probably. But my question is, does your face feel super weird
when you get Botox?
Yeah.
Listen, I've had a couple bad Botox experiences. Do you
Right,
remember when my mouth was frozen?
Yes, I forgot about that.
So that was
frozen bad.
That was from that was bad Botox.
So you're anti-Botox now?
I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Yeah, I'm done with it. If you go somewhere good, you're probably fine. I mean, it goes away after 3 months. Nobody, as far as I know, has permanent damage from anything. But if you want a bigger upper lip, just get some damn Restylane in your upper lip. That would be my advice.
But when you get Botox and it starts working, does it feel weird walking around with some of your muscles?
Yeah. So Botox, what it does is it turns your brain's signal off for that muscle to fire. It actually doesn't physically do anything to your skin. It just tells your brain to turn that muscle off. So it's really weird and science fiction-y. Mm-hmm. And it's weird because you'll stare at yourself in the mirror and you'll just give it all your might and just really squinch your face and it doesn't squinch.
Oh, that's weird.
It's really, really weird. It feels a little heavy.
Yeah.
And
I feel like having that around my lips would make talking feel really weird.
I don't know. No, I don't like it.
Was that your Fran Drescher impression, Jackie?
Oh, Mr. Sheffield.
Is anyone going to acknowledge my visual pun of gal chat?
Oh. Now I get it.
She just wanted us to imagine.
We're looking at Gal Gadot and Will Ferrell and who's behind you. And is that Sarah Silverman?
That's right.
They're singing Imagine.
They're singing Imagine in April of 2020.
Yes.
We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary, gang.
Crazy.
How exciting.
All right. Jackie.
Yeah.
You're pregnant.
Yep.
You know what you're having.
Yep.
You got a big booty.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it looks good.
Wait. My boobs are big too.
Can I ask a question and be rude and interrupt?
Yeah.
Jackie, have you been on the show since your pregnancy became public? Okay.
No, I was on it once before I told anybody.
Okay, well,
and the whole time I was like, Jackie, you look amazing. Like, what did you do? Something? What did you? And you're like, it's just the lighting. But she was
I
a
looked
big
so
fat liar.
I was so sick. And
I will just say that I was present at Jackie's birthday party for the unveiling and the reveal, the pregnancy reveal.
Did you know?
No, it was one of the greatest live events I've ever attended in my life. Her and Ben were at the piano doing a medley of songs, the last of which was Sweet Child of Mine, as she whipped out a sonogram and started crying, as did the rest of the room. It was unbelievable. I couldn't believe what was happening. It was so good.
Allison, you showed up late, or you would have been there to see it.
Well, look.
I know.
It was Jackie's birthday party. It was Jackie's birthday party, and it was started at 1, and it was good. And in the invite, she said it was going to go all day, but I go to sleep at 10.
Yeah.
Also, kids and dogs welcome. Mm-hmm. So we came like around 5, I'd say. With the only children there, but I loved how many dogs were there.
Hey, but maybe if you would have come earlier, there would have been more kids.
Were there?
No. I can't help it if people want to get sitters. I mean, I don't know.
So anyway, here's the part that I submit for everyone's discussion. So Jackie is giving us a tour of her beautiful mid-modern house, MC house. That's what I mean. And we're in the bathroom. Or I can't remember specifically the point at which this happened, but we're somewhere, and she's like, if we have kids someday, which I hope we will, then maybe this could be a kid's room. Like, so straight-faced. Little did I know, at that same party, merely an hour or so before, she'd already done a reveal. That's what the theme of the show is liars who lie. That's a liar she was.
It's called acting.
The theme of the show is liars?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. It has been. You don't know that?
Oh my gosh.
No, not Allison Rosen is Your Best Friend, a podcast about lying. No, the theme of this episode.
Because every friendship
Jackie
is a lie agreed upon. Exclamation points. Lies via email.
Yeah, no worries. Exclamation point, but there are worries.
Yeah.
So anyway, just moments before she had done a reveal. And so then I'm none the wiser. I'm thinking, I hope she's able to get pregnant one day, because I know she had been trying.
Oh.
And then it's time for the cake, and 2 cakes come out.
Yeah.
And this is her second reveal. It's like someone who has like multiple outfit changes. This is her second reveal.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think I was like, what? Like really loud. And then it turned out that was the second reveal. It was pretty amazing. And yes, I will acknowledge your hydrangea and Lin-Manuel Miranda that we're now seeing. This has become a real visual podcast.
Listen, your family, and I believe Tony Thaxton, at that point, were the only 2 people who didn't know.
Oh my God, we got our own reveal? Thank you.
Yeah. And that was really the only reason. And that wasn't the reason I had 2 cakes. It was just because I thought maybe 1 wouldn't be enough. So I told Ben to get 2.
That's nice.
Well, you made it out like you each get your own cake.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling? How far along are you, etc.?
Well, I'm about halfway.
Wow.
Yep. And I feel much better. I feel like I have more energy than before I was even pregnant. And I've been sleeping pretty well, all things considered. Now, there are a few weird things going on. I'm having extremely sensitive teeth. My teeth feel like they're going to fall out of my mouth. I have really bad acid reflux.
Yes.
And I had a bunch of cold sores, like 100 cold sores. And then my pussy's been really itchy and irritated. Mm-hmm. And apparently that's a hormonal thing.
Yeah.
So, but I feel great. Other than all the little annoying things, I'm telling you, I have more energy than I had before.
I'm so glad, because I know that you were feeling very nauseated at the beginning.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad, and it's kept going into my second trimester. And I kept being like, oh, I'm gonna be one of those ladies that's sick all the time, but it stopped. Oh man,
hallelujah.
I'm going on walks in the neighborhood. I'm
so
Pelotoning. I've got energy.
Are you having cravings or weird dreams?
weird dreams, yes. Cravings, yes. But it feels good to want to eat again because for 3 months I did not want to eat.
Right.
I just want boba tea and bagels. My baby loves carbs. Last night I ate a kale salad and he started kicking the shit out of me. Like, no, I want more bagels. Yeah, I'm telling you, and I don't want him to be dumb. I all the books are like, you got to get this, you got to eat this, you got to get. And since I don't eat anything anyway, it's really hard for me to get all my good nutrients. But all he wants is bagels.
Well, I have an item that he will love and you might love. In fact, you might be familiar with it. It's Just Egg. Have you tried this? It's a plant-based egg.
I love Just Egg.
Yes, I tried it for the first time tonight.
So good.
I dare say I like it better than eggs. It's like more savory. Daniel said it has more umami, and for the longest time I'm like, I don't think umami is a real thing, but I've recently come around. But it's quite delicious. This next ad comes to you from a company that's cooking the best omelets you'll have all year, all while changing the world one egg at a time. It's called Just Egg, and I'm excited to tell you about it. It's a cholesterol-free, plant-based egg that will give you the most decadent quiches of your life. I should have made a quiche. The fluffiest scrambles and the easiest egg sandwiches of all time. It has about the same protein as a chicken egg and less saturated fat. Plus, Just Egg is packed with cholesterol-lowering polysaturated fat. Chicken eggs wish they were this healthy. And because it comes from plants, you're also helping to save our planet. So that's nice if you're into the whole saving the environment thing, if that's your thing. Happy New Year, everyone. May it be filled with Just Egg. Just Egg, really good eggs. Oh my God, there's so much cuteness happening on the screen. I also want to tell you guys about Lumino. Jackie, you mentioned sensitive teeth. I love my smile. What I don't love is all the toxic ingredients in most dental care products. They're not good for my health or my teeth. I want the best for my oral health. Products made with natural ingredients that help my smile not harm it. And that is why I recommend Lumino. Lumino makes toothpaste, mouthwash, and whitening products that actually help your oral health instead of hurting it. They use purposeful and uncompromising ingredients like sea salt, aloe, and coconut oils to clean and brighten your smile. Plus, everything they make is certified non-toxic. And it's good for sensitive teeth because it's not harsh bleaches or alcohol or artificial dyes, things like that. And they have whitening strips, mouthwash, toothpaste. And then they have a whitening pen that you can use sort of prophylactically, like before you drink coffee or before you drink red wine, etc. Or you can also use it to whiten and to lift stains. And I think it's great. I love how my smile feels and looks, and I know you'll love Lumino as much as I do too. Get 15% off your order today by going to getlumino.com/bestfriend and use code bestfriend. I'm going to spell it out because whatever you're thinking might not be how it's spelled. That's getlumino, GETLUMINEUX.com/bestfriend, code bestfriend to save 15%. Getlumino.com/bestfriend.
Allison,
Jackie,
did you cater your ads to me today?
I know I didn't, but I did.
I mean, you did.
I kind of did. Well, and what would be the most Jackie one next? Wondering about how to put together your birth plan?
Yeah, like a face cream for babies to prevent breakouts in toddlers.
Yes.
There you go.
Bagels that make your baby smart.
Yes.
Oh, I need that.
Antioxidant packed, omega-3 packed, alpha brain and boosting bagels.
I need whatever is in fish, like the good ingredients in fish in a bagel.
Yes.
Mm.
Wow, halfway there. That's so exciting. Congratulations, Jackie.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah. Every morning I wake up and my ass is bigger and my belly's bigger. I'm like, oh shit, it's really in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're feeling a little. Wait, you haven't revealed. You have done. It's a boy.
Yeah.
I just stole your thunder because you already posted it.
I wasn't. It's so funny though. I didn't announce it on Twitter. I just started talking about it, and all these people were like, "Oh my god, you didn't announce it on Allison Rosen!" It's like people think that's where I go now to do all my announcing.
I mean,
wait, did you announce
do.
any exclusives before on the show?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
what did I reveal on here? There have been a few.
That you like the poop hammock to soften the
poop
sound
lasso.
of, yeah.
No, but I think I revealed that I bought my house on this show.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
There are one or two other things that I did give you the exclusive on.
Yeah.
So
I see that you kept this one for yourself. I have mixed feelings, but
I have a pregnancy related question.
Yes.
Jackie, as a pregnant woman who's halfway there, basically, have your media or viewing habits or sensitivities changed in terms of what you find interesting or not palatable to watch?
Good question.
No.
In movies or TV.
I'm still a dirty pervert freak.
Okay,
Mommy
great.
still likes
Asked
it
and
nasty.
answered.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
Mommy,
Are we talking about porn?
I'm kidding. I don't know. I do cry even easier than I did before.
Okay, great.
I watched. Has anyone here watching season 6 of Queer Eye?
No.
Okay, well, you're missing out.
6 already?
Yes, I know, but they haven't slowed down at all. It's still, the charm is still there in full force. There is an episode where a woman runs an animal rescue in Austin for like abandoned, abused animals.
Oh,
and then children with special needs come, and I literally was sobbing. Like, I don't know if I've ever sobbed harder in my life. And then I watched The Business of Being Born, which shows you like 15 babies being born, and I wept. Every baby being born, I wept. So I've always been kind of a sap, but I'm still keeping it freaky and nasty.
How did you feel?
I do cry easy.
How did you feel about The Business of Being Born? I found it freaked me out. Like it raised my anxiety, if I remember correctly.
I took it with a grain of salt, as I try to do all documentaries.
Smart.
But I don't know. I really want to have a natural birth, and I really would have one at a birthing center, but my husband's too freaked out by that. So we are doing a hospital birth, but my plan is to labor at home as long as I possibly can naturally. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you want the unmedicated birth experience, I already knew that I was like, I don't know that that's for me. So then the documentary made me feel like, oh, what if, I don't know if I can trust my doctors. If I remember correctly, which is a long time ago at this point.
I just feel like there's so much that can go wrong.
Well, she's going to have her baby at a hospital.
I know. That's I'm with Ben. I would be like,
Hashtag I'm with Ben. Me and Dan are starting that hashtag.
Honestly, if I wasn't of an advanced maternal age, then I would probably do it at home.
Do it at home.
But
Well, you are
I'm
going
of
to.
advanced maternal age.
We were texting before, Jackie, and you told me that you wanted to do like the all natural thing that Tom Cruise made Katie Holmes do, which is to be completely silent.
You don't
during
cry.
the child's birth. Don't cry. Don't make a noise or a peep. So I have a lot of respect for that, for you doing that. I think
like
that's
a
I wonder how
library,
that's working out for Suri.
Poor Suri. Oh, man. What a weird little kid. That's
Suri with the fringe on top.
Suri with the fringe on top. She's going to get bullied with that niche Oklahoma reference.
Oh, people have sung that to her. They damn sure have.
No, she's probably going to school in the Scientology schools, and they're probably not allowed to.
Oh, that's
because
true.
No,
she is the child of the chosen one.
I don't think she sees her dad that much. I think she's
really?
with her mom a lot, and
Yeah, there's no Tom Cruise as a father is like the least relevant part of his life. Like the darkness with us enjoying all these Top Gun and Mission Impossible, Scientology aside, is that this is a man who is absolutely not involved with his children at all, unfortunately.
But he's not insisting they go to the Scientology schools. That's good.
Yeah, I guess it's the devil you know beats the devil you don't with that one, because I guess you don't want involvement there.
But all I know is completely silent birth.
Yeah, what's the idea behind that? Is that a Scientology
It causes
thing?
trauma, right? It's like
to the baby?
Yeah, something like that.
It
And then
causes
it
trauma to
imprints
people
on you.
listening.
So according to the Church of Scientology, the point of silent birth is no words. It does not mean a mother can't make any sound during childbirth. So just so we're getting the facts straight on that. So you can make noises, you just can't speak.
So you can scream, you just can't say like, "Oh, this hurts."
It's based upon the principle that expectant mothers must be provided the utmost care and respect. In Hubbard's words, L. Ron Hubbard's words, everyone must learn to say nothing within the expectant mother's hearing using labor and delivery. Particularly during birth, absolute silence must be maintained, and the more gentle the delivery, the better.
And if there's anyone
It's not a gentle
expectant
process.
mothers should be listening to the most, is L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
That guy.
By the way, L. Ron Hubbard, the man for whom the Ben and Jerry's flavor Chubby Hubby was based after.
Wait, what?
No, it's not.
Oh. I believe you.
I've honestly been really loving my book, What to Expect When Inspecting by L. Ron Hubbard. It's actually been really insightful.
Is it just pictures of aliens?
And boats at sea.
I find L. Ron Hubbard's What to Expect When You're Expecting to be a little cutesy at times, but helpful. A lot of information in there.
Very good.
I just spilled wax all over my pants.
Oh, no.
I hope it doesn't ruin them.
You can get it out.
How do you get wax out of pants?
Don't you like put a towel down and then an iron or something and heat it up?
Oh, see, and I would say put it in the freezer and just crack it out.
Is that Daniel or Martha freaking Stewart over there?
Daniel is handy.
Is there a difference?
He's Mr. Handy. Is there a
difference? I heard Martha Stewart very mean to women, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, doesn't want to work with women, only wants to work with men.
I heard the most devastating news. I've been keeping it to myself for a couple of weeks, but it's...
Tell us.
I heard... I don't even want to say it.
Wait, do you want to put it in the chat?
No, I'll say it, but this is just going to bum everyone out.
Okay.
Apparently, in IRL, Mandy Patinkin, not a great guy.
Wait, what?
I can't.
Wait, what do you mean not a great guy?
Stories like he's like verbally. I've heard that this is just rumor now that he was like verbally abusive. That when he was, when he left the cast of
Great Comet.
No, what was that crime show that he was on?
Oh, Criminal Minds.
Criminal
Minds. They
Minds.
partied because they were excited that he was off. This is all rumor.
You know, he just walked off a set and never went back.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, apparently he's difficult to be with, but I refuse to believe it.
That's sad.
So
I believe
in
the Mandy Patinkin of my mind.
Yeah, and that's more important at this point.
Mandy Patinkin is both Daniel and my hall
I can't
pass.
live in a world where Mandy Patinkin isn't how I imagine him to be. The guy that pops up out of a model train set, happy.
No, and dances with his sweet little wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
Are
we cutting all this out?
No. We're keeping this.
This is all in? Okay, then I'll save
Daniel
mine for off
I think
mic.
Daniel was kidding about this being. I spoke with a woman who was in a show with Mandy Patinkin, and I think I had heard this bummer news that Daniel's bandying about. And I said, like, is it true that Mandy Patinkin is difficult? And she said he was nothing but lovely to her.
Thank you.
And like really, because she was, I think, a teenager when they did the show together, and she's kept in touch with him, and he's like a father figure to her. So shove it up your butt, Daniel. You're wrong.
Wow.
Shove it up my butt. Shove it up the person's butt I heard it from.
Well, who'd you hear it from?
I'll tell you off mic.
Me.
Oh. Was it you, Jackie?
I love to start rumors on no merit.
Do we have unvaccinated celebrity gossip? Those are always great.
Oh,
do
I
we
have
have any?
that.
Yeah.
Oh, tell us.
I can't say.
Can you do a blind item?
I can say in the chat.
Yeah, give us a blind
Say
item.
in the chat, and then let's have the listeners react for the most frustrating podcast experience
I've heard there are a
This
lot
one
of...
is going to definitely try their patience. But
I've
that's
heard there
okay.
are a lot of celebrities who are faking.
There are a
being
ton who are anti-vax.
Yeah. I heard that too, Jackie.
It's true.
The one, not the other.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
so
true.
I read a blind item. Again, it was a blind item, but based on the clues in it, I wondered if they were talking about Beck.
Beck?
Well,
I would imagine Beck is unvaxxed. He's like, isn't he all into natural remedies and stuff?
yeah, that makes sense.
He's a Scientologist too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Loves it.
Okay. Kevin T. Porter.
I heard Jackie's unborn baby is unvaccinated as well. Not
that
to spread
true?
rumors, yeah.
Well, I've been boosted, so my baby has antibodies.
There you go.
Oh man.
All right. I want to move on to Kevin T. Porter's just ginormous Mario Brothers kerfuffle, but I just want to say, Jackie, I know it's going to be a little while till your next appearance. So if there's anything else anyone wants to know about Jackie, about her pregnancy, about anyone, like, I don't want people to feel like, wait, we didn't get enough. So Jackie, if you think of anything else, feel free. We can definitely circle back.
Okay, I mean, I can tell you how I got pregnant, or I mean, whatever you want to know.
Yeah, do you want to give us a play-by-play of how you got pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
I can.
Sure. Yeah, let us know.
I think I got pregnant in reverse cowgirl. I'm pretty positive.
That's great. You never think about that when it comes to the conception. Yeah. You assume so much more traditional position. So I love that you did it.
Well,
your way.
We did it a whole bunch in that week. And I have a feeling that was the one that did it.
Oh.
Now, were you like laying afterwards with your, butt elevated and legs up in the air and all that?
No, I just let it simmer in me.
Got it.
For 20 minutes. That's what my acupuncturist told me to do. And it worked because I had tried a few months and it wasn't working. And then she told me what to do. She said, do it every other day, your whole week leading up to your ovulation. And don't overdo it and let it sit for 20 minutes. And I did, and it worked first try.
Did she say do reverse cowgirl?
No, you can Google like best positions, but it was just a spur of the moment decision on my part to just, give him a little new view.
A whole new view.
And that did it.
There you go.
Did you find, this is a personal question that you don't, anyway, I'm just wondering. Do
I like reverse cowgirl? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, no, that's not my question. Yeah, my question is the thing of like we have to do it every other day at this time. Like, did that affect the joy and spontaneity of it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, right. But we were trying to get down to business.
Right. Oh yes. Well, I know. I mean, I know. And Daniel, we all know because it was like a years-long project to get my two kids. So I know so much about it becoming divorced from like a natural expression of intimacy. So.
No, it was, I think maybe that one was the most fun out of all of them that week, which is again why I think that was it.
Right.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's such a nice story.
The baby was made out of love.
Yeah.
Ours was made out of money and science.
Yeah.
But love too.
No, there was love. There was love.
What is science if not love persevering?
Yes! My favorite line from WandaVision.
I literally, as a writer, I wept that I hadn't written that line.
If you look at this and you don't fall to your knees and cry before your God by how pathetic your words are by comparison, you're not a real writer.
Every writer has been trying to write that line for probably hundreds of years.
Fun 2021 me, March of 2021. What a nice time.
So, I just want to say something quickly about Bob Saget, especially because I feel like that joke that Daniel made at the beginning, wow. I mean, it was just announced, even though it was a silly joke. And you know what? I think Bob Saget would appreciate it.
I feel like you shouldn't be too reverent in your, like, I don't mean to say be disrespectful, because I love Bob Saget, and I'm sad that he's passed, but like, come on.
He would have gone. That was one of the things. So I knew him.
He was a peppery guy. I think he would have thought it was funny.
I knew him a bit. I had him on my show a number of times, and I'd been on his show. And he's just a really sweet guy. Yeah. And one of the things that I really appreciated about him was that he always went for the joke. Like, I just like silliness and silly people and people who keep things light even when they're talking about serious things. So, but he really, my experience of him was that he just was as thoughtful and kind and would kind of go the extra mile to talk about things and, as people say and as you hear. So it's a real shock and a real bummer.
Yeah.
He was 65, which seems too young. And it's really sad. That's my eulogy.
I mean, obviously such a fundamental part of everyone's childhood in some way from the Full House stuff. But I remember as a child not thinking there was anything funnier in the world than the little voiceovers he would do on America's Funniest Home Videos. He was such an effortless. It was someone pointed this on Twitter. It was almost like a postmodern performance of like this kind of filthy, hilarious comedian doing a children's show. And then like all the voices and commentary and bits he would do on the show was like him screaming for help, but was still funny unto itself.
Yeah, I mean, he was so dark. He was a very like dark off-color comedian, which then he became this clean dad guy. And he like managed to sort of balance it all. So I had made this joke on Twitter, and he'd been on my show, and then he DM'd me like years after, because I made this joke on Twitter, and he DM'd me and he wanted to let me know that he has a similar bit in his upcoming special, and he just didn't want me to think that he'd like gotten it from my tweet. And it was so...
That's nice.
It was so nice and so unnecessary. Like, I would have never, ever thought that.
That's why he put all the exclamation points in the cease and desist that he sent you to make it kind of
no
lighthearted.
worries if not, if you do want to plagiarize me or, or whatever.
Here's a subpoena.
Well, no, that's the funny thing. That's the funny thing is that when I first read it, I thought, oh my God, is he accusing me of getting this from him? But he wasn't, because it was like the special hadn't come out yet. But no, he wanted to reassure me. He was worried that I might think that he had stolen it from me. And like I said, completely unnecessary. He and I are not like on the same level, but he treated me like we were, which I thought was just... that's just the kind of guy he was, like super considerate and super sweet. Yeah. Okay, let's get to Kevin's kerfuffle.
Let's go.
Please fill us in. Do I need to set it up, or should you?
Oh goodness, you know what? I'll give a little background on this.
Okay.
And really set the scene for the day as concisely but as thoroughly as possible.
Please.
I had a cross-country flight, my first one since the pandemic started, from Burbank to JFK. And the flight was delayed 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, in total 4.5 hours from Burbank, which for a flight that's already 6 hours and change long is really tough.
You sat at the Burbank airport for 4.5 hours?
Nothing to do. Nowhere to really go.
There's that Guy Fieri restaurant. That's really all you got.
Hit that up, and I did get those chicken tenders and scarfed them down.
You were there long enough you could have applied for a job there.
Isn't that wild? I should have.
Make some money as a fry cook.
Yeah. I really missed an opportunity. But while I was on the plane, because we got on the plane, then we had to deplane, then we got back on again. But the first time I was on the plane, seeing how they announced the new cast for the animated Mario movie that they're putting out via, I forget the name of the animation company, but it's the same one that did Minions and Sing and Sing 2 and all those. And the voice cast was Chris Pratt as Mario, Anya Taylor-Joy,
it's
Princess,
Anya, yeah.
Yes, as Princess Peach, Jack Black as Bowser, Charlie Day as Luigi, which is to me maybe the only one that actually makes sense. And then someone is Donkey Kong. Who's playing Donkey Kong? Some weirdo.
Joaquin Phoenix.
It's Joaquin Phoenix. Classic take on Donkey Kong. So it was obviously not well received by the people, maybe just like, oh, it's Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, excuse me. Speaking of Rogen. And everyone on Twitter hated it. So a joke structure I've seen before and I've done myself is when everyone absolutely despises something is to take credit for it as if you are the person for whom that is responsible for whatever the thing is.
Like our four-way kiss that caused COVID.
Exactly. So the thing I did was tweet out, hey, everyone, it's me, the casting director of the upcoming Super Mario Brothers movie. I'm really proud of our choices, and I'm so excited to bring the story to light and show it to you. Something along those lines. So
which is obviously a joke.
But I wonder if it's like a blue check thing or like a...
Right.
Because most people at first did respect it as like a joke and thought it was funny. And then the hate replies did start coming in because someone did, in fact, change my IMDb, which you can update as if it's Wikipedia. It's open source to include casting director of the new Super Mario Brothers movie as a credit. E! News ran an article about me defending my casting choices.
Nobody fact checked this at all.
No.
It was crazy. I think the extent of their fact checking must have just been IMDb or something. It was weird the way it was everywhere.
So it was quite messy, and then as I saw more backlash coming in, I did do a Notes app apology for my casting decisions, but still standing by them with integrity as I needed to. I said, as you can imagine, the last few days have been a whirlwind. The whole team has been listening to your feedback, both the support and criticism. You have said Mamma Mia, and we hear you loud and clear.
So stupid.
And I go on to say some more stuff like the Mushroom Kingdom should be a place where all are welcome.
Oh, right, because the issue was people were angry that it wasn't Italians playing Mario and Luigi, right? Which already, I mean, come on.
I have forgotten about some parts of this, yeah, but Italian representation.
Again, it's so obviously a joke.
Important.
Nothing's obvious to some people, though.
Oh, it's delightful, but yes. And then that extended for a long time. I did get a lot of, probably the most text messages and like emails and tweets and DMs I've gotten since I had a little exchange with Miss DeGeneres about a year ago. But
most
yeah,
of them being, you mean like from people you know asking what's going on, or from people you don't know hating you?
Both. Just the most feedback, I think, on something that which extended to someone from which extended to Michelle Yeoh's cast agent sending me an email asking if there's a project that makes sense for her coming up. Michelle Yeoh, who's a fucking queen, who's like
that?
Michelle Yeoh is
I've heard the
you may
name.
know her as the maternal figure in Crazy Rich Asians.
Oh,
you
yes,
may know her
okay.
from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Wow.
Or
She'll be
hope
playing
you'll-
Yoshi in the Donkey Kong movie.
Yeah,
I hope you'll keep her in mind.
Yeah, for Yoshi, yeah, I'm thinking about it. And I did get calls from agents at Gersh from their New York office like, hey, we have some people that might be interested in the Mario.
Are you serious?
This is the most desperate town in the world.
What did you do?
I mean, for the emails, I didn't respond to them. To the phone calls where it was like agencies, I did say, no, I'm not working on it. That was a joke that got out of hand.
How'd they get your
unfortunately.
number?
Yeah, same
I
question.
don't know. IMDb Pro, I guess. I have no idea.
Did you get offered any casting roles?
No, unfortunately. I
That
know
would have been
you,
hot.
You would have
Just
thought
like-
I could spin this to my favor. But
Yeah, just
no.
fake your way into becoming a
Casting
big picture
director.
casting agent.
Yeah,
I
would've
am
ruled.
curious how much of this had to do with the IMDb being edited, and how much was the
Probably
Twitter
all of it.
I think a
Yeah.
good chunk, honestly,
Yeah.
just because, it probably becomes a misunderstanding of like the function and nature of how open source IMDb is. Which to me, the whole thing, in a very silly, harmless way, was unfortunately a microcosm of probably the core issue in our nation right now, which is media literacy and disinformation.
Yep.
Which it's like, this is like the silly no consequences version of that. But then it's also like, there's a version of this in which January 6th happens, you know, and that's how that occurs. But it was so funny to experience that both on the left and the right in that moment of like people just taking things at face value with no interrogation to speak of.
How did it feel to have all this hate directed at you, but to know that it was for mistaken reasons? Like, did any of it get to you?
No, because it was all predicated on a misunderstanding. So there was no internalization.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like, I listened to your podcast and you suck, like that'd be different than
Right.
this is a misunderstood joke. This is a complete miscommunication. So all the vitriol was not hard to brush off. There
Did
was
you
almost
get-
no substance to it.
Now, did you get hate when the whole Ellen thing happened?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
That must have felt a little different, or no?
It was slightly different, but again, I think it was a misunderstanding of the power dynamic
Right.
too, where
Right.
so again, it was like a little bit easier to brush off, even though you're right in that it was more literally reflective of reality, but it was still, oh, I don't think you understand how workplaces should function or how like celebrity and power protects people in bad ways. Like
Yeah.
it still felt like those misunderstandings of like people who hate in that way or like have like unkind words are victims of misinformation themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, you know, even with like the little threats I got and stuff, it's like, I think this is not something to be taken with much gravity.
Well,
if
yeah,
that makes
you didn't
sense.
expect what happened with Ellen to happen. It's not like you
No.
wrote that tweet knowing it would set off her whole empire.
No, but that said, I am throwing a finale, an Ellen series finale watch party at my place for anyone who wants to come. I'm
And
not
just
doing
to just remind us, what was the Ellen tweet?
The Ellen tweet was soliciting mean stories about her in exchange for me donating $2 for every story to a LA food bank in week 2 of the pandemic in March of 2020.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
In my mind, that was years before the pandemic.
Now it's March of 2020.
So confusing.
So really, if the pandemic hadn't happened, would that have happened? You know, it makes you think, like, what's worth it? You know, in this sliding doors situation we find ourselves in.
Right. In another universe, we're all out and about living our lives. Those 800 and however many thousand are still with us.
But Ellen's still on.
show in perpetuity.
Would it be worth it?
That's
the thing.
Some would say.
The wager.
Hard calculation. So has the Mario stuff died down? Do people still think you're the casting director?
Did the real casting director ever speak up and say, excuse me, it's me, I did this?
Good question.
No, I mean, it's fully died down. I never got any official contact with anyone actually involved. But I did think about, instead of the second Notes app apology being like an apology of just like, we're listening to you and we are committed to inclusion in this movie, for it to be like, we've listened and we're replacing Chris Pratt as Mario.
That would have been so funny.
But then I was afraid of litigation for that, like to actually like threaten that something would change. I thought might be a little dicey.
But are you like legally exposed if you do that?
I don't know, because I guess you could write it all off as parody, right?
Yeah. Jeff,
or
do
like,
you know?
if it says comedian or comedy in your Twitter account, then everything could be written off as that. I don't know.
Right.
Well, they should invite you to the premiere, at the very least.
That'd be nice, like the Star is Born people did.
They should give you a small part. There's got to be like a little, what are the little mushrooms called?
Like a Goomba or something?
Give you a Goomba part.
Yeah, or a little Koopa guy.
Give you a Koopa.
They are not called Goombas, are they?
Yeah, they are. They're called the little brown stout guys are called Goombas.
Get out of here. Yeah. Listen, you guys. Every day, tens of thousands of trees are cut down to make single-use paper products that are flushed or thrown away into our overflowing landfills. Our forests currently remove around 1/4 of the carbon humans put into the atmosphere, making them a crucial part of the fight against climate change. Real Paper, that's REEL paper, is here to help that fight. Real Paper is a sustainably made product that helps reduce deforestation and single-use plastic waste. We have Real Paper toilet paper right now. It is wonderful. It is thick, but not too thick. It's like the right thickness. It's perfect. All their products are 100% plastic free and made without virgin tree fibers, meaning no new trees are cut down to make their toilet paper or paper towels. Plus, making this small change can have a big impact. So far, Real Paper has eliminated over 250,000 pieces of single-use plastic. Real Paper is available in easy, hassle-free subscriptions or for one-time purchases on their website. All orders are conveniently delivered to your door in 100% recyclable plastic-free packaging. If you head to realpaper.com/bestfriend and sign up for a subscription using my code BESTFRIEND at checkout, you'll automatically get 30% off your first order. That's Real Paper, REELPAPER.com/bestfriend, or enter promo code BESTFRIEND to get 30% off your first order. Real Paper is toilet paper and paper towels that change lives. Okay, let's say hello and welcome to my new patrons.
Allison wants to say thank you to a couple of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/AllisonRosen.
Patreon.
Oh my God, I love it. I would like to give a hello and a shout out and a welcome to Maggie Simazon. Maggie, hello. Take a bow, Maggie. You've done it. You've joined. I hope you love it. Yeah. And you guys, join my Patreon. It's super fun. Patreon.com/AllisonRosen. Okay, let's do some Just Me or Everyone.
Sometimes I ponder on something I have thought or done. Is it just me or everyone?
Okay, and while I pull up some JMOs, let me say the guy whose name I was trying to think of before is Michael Malice. Do you guys know who that is?
Michael Malice? No.
No, but I want to know who that naked man is on Kevin's background.
Who was your naked man? Is that Joe?
You know him. He's
This Is Us?
That is
it
that
Milo
is the pilot episode. This Is Us.
Vermiglia?
This is my friend Milo Ventimiglia.
Ventimiglia.
Yeah, he's attractive.
He's a good-looking guy, getting better with age.
I enjoyed him on Gilmore Girls.
I did too.
Ray Morgan says, whenever I see the band's name in excess, I pronounce it Inks in my head, even though I know that's not right. Yes, I've done that before. Anyone else?
Not with the band, but I always say Wednesday in my head when I spell it.
Yes. I often do that too. And sometimes I say February.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of any bands I've done with that, though. I don't say ABBA.
No.
I say ABBA.
But Mystery Science Theater 3000, when I see MST3K, in my head, 100% of the time, I think like Mastercraft or something. And then I have to, like, in the same... Master... it's always master something. It's sort of like ARIYNBF. A lot of people say Aryan boyfriend. That's where their head goes, which is definitely what I'm trying to convey.
Hey,
okay.
A matchmaking game for white supremacists everywhere.
Yes.
Could be a good pivot.
James Leroy Wilson says, I do deep dives into pentatonics on YouTube every Christmas New Year season, even if they're not Christmas songs. Just mirror everyone. I think of them as Christmas songs.
I can relate to this very specifically because I did recently do a deep dive onto pentatonics, which intersecting with another interest of mine, they are very Christian. Half of the group is actual Christian people, and the majority of their album output now is just Christmas albums, which, no knock if it's work you can get, but half of those songs are the Christian flavor of Christmas songs. They did a cover of Amy Grant's song Grown Up Christmas List with Kelly Clarkson as a little collab in a very baffling music video they put out a couple years ago in Vegas.
I'm not sure I know who Pentatonics is.
I don't know.
But I associate them with Christmas. Are they like a cappella, like, oh?
They are the a cappella group. There is no other a cappella group in the mainstream
Got
with
it.
the audience that they have like them.
I think I literally just saw them for the first time doing something. They're good.
They are.
Do you enjoy their Christian
talented.
programming?
I can't remember what I saw them do, though. It was something at Disneyland.
They're all over. Moms and dads everywhere love the pentatonics. Low key, though, I think it's one of those things that might shift the Overton window in terms of like queer affirmation in the country because, a few of the members of the group are gay, but their primary audience is conservative people and like, suburban people in red states. So it's one of those things that you kind of write off or think is silly, like, okay, the Modern Family couple or Will and Grace. But with enough of that over time, and especially as a consumer enjoys that stuff, it just becomes more accepted and normalized.
I agree.
So even though it's not for me, I guess I'm glad that the pentatonics exists.
Wendy W. says, my husband's family heats their dinner plates in the toaster oven or stove before putting food on them. I'd never heard of this before them. Is it just them or everyone? I think it's just them. It's some restaurants.
Why would you do that?
Wouldn't that risk the plate breaking?
Yeah.
What's the
point? But at a restaurant, when they give you a plate and they're like, it's very hot, very, very hot. How did the plate...
Because it's been under a heat lamp.
Yes, it's not ideal. It actually means that the food has been sitting for a while.
Just put that together.
Jeff,
some of you have not waited tables.
So, yeah,
I will occasionally do this. If I'm making something in a skillet, I'll take the plate that I'm going to serve it on and I'll put it on top of the skillet for a little bit to warm it up.
Whoa!
Yep.
Wow.
So what's the benefit of doing that?
Well, you're making this nice warm dish and then you're slapping it onto a cold plate and then it makes it cold and then also the plate is cold. So if the plate is just a little toasty to the touch, that's nice. And then
I can see that.
Keeps the food a little warm.
I can see if the plates are ice cold, you don't want to put nice hot food on it.
But plates aren't ice cold unless they've been in the damn freezer.
Well, it could be a chilly day.
Yeah. It's a wintry day, Jackie Johnson.
You keep your plates outside? Mine are in the damn cabinet. Room temp, hun.
Yep.
I keep mine in the freezer.
Well, they do that when you order salad sometimes at fancy restaurants. It's a chilled plate.
Or dessert.
That's what I was.
It's the same thing.
There you
Yes. That's what I was going to say. This is the opposite of the chilled salad plate, which, at many a fine salad bar, and who knows if salad bars will persist.
I hope
like
they don't.
science or love. Do you say you hope they won't?
go. Yeah.
Oh, how dare you!
The bulk bins are back at Sprouts.
R.I.P. Soup Plantation.
Daniel and I went to Soup Plantation early. I've told this story before, but it's been a while.
Well,
Early
you
in
think
our
the Soup
relationship.
Plantation is better than the reality of Soup Plantation.
You're going to have
Yes.
to do an apology like Blake and Ryan Reynolds did for having their wedding on a plantation.
The name has always baffled me, Soup
Yeah.
Plantation.
So
Bad
when
name.
Daniel and I, the first time Daniel and I met, we met at the Standard. And that was the last time we ever went anywhere cool. And then we went to Soup Plantation, like early on. This was in the like nesting, wearing sweatpants phase of our relationship that I'm still in. And I remember Daniel saying, like, I'm so glad that, you're someone where we can just go to Soup Plantation, which, by the way, that's not really a compliment, but I know what he means. But anyway, we both just got fierce diarrhea after and had to write it off.
It wasn't great.
No.
In Texas, it's called Juicy Tomato.
Oh, yes, I've heard of this. It's like a Hellman's Best Food situation.
Or red tomato, something tomato.
think
That's
it's
what they call
Juicy
diarrhea?
Tomato.
Yeah.
Wait, Jackie, do you remember Super in salad in Texas?
Yes. Oh,
What's
my
it
dad
called?
loved it.
Well,
Super salad.
Super salad. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, super salad. But super was spelled the way you think it is.
Yes.
It's a great joke every time.
Yeah, well, that's like
Still
that
hits.
joke.
Yeah.
I'm here to bring you
Still
super
hits.
sex. I'll take the soup. In case anyone's heard that. It's like an old guy and a woman who's there to brighten his day, but he'd rather have soup. Thank you.
That was the
you.
last joke that Bob Saget ever told. He
Okay.
closed with that.
Eric says, sometimes feel weirdly nostalgic watching network cable television with commercials now that we're in a world of streaming service and on-demand dominance. Weirdly nostalgic. I just feel, you know what? Actually, I was going to say I feel impatient, but that's not true because I'm so tethered to my phone and to like taking bathroom breaks and just not committing my attention to anything that I appreciate a commercial break to like get up and do stuff. It takes forever to watch a show for me.
I don't like watching commercials, but I wish that when I went back and watched old episodes of TV shows, whether it's on YouTube or wherever, that
This is
they
exactly
included,
what I'm about to say, Dan.
yeah, they included the commercials from the time because I'd love to watch those.
Yes.
That would be cool.
Well, that was like the
Yeah.
live in front of a studio audience that Jimmy Kimmel's company recently did, where they redid a Facts of Life episode. They
With
had
Ann
commercials.
Dowd as Mrs. Garrett.
Yes. How did you feel about the whole thing, Kevin? I felt like it was fine. It was good, but it just, I know Facts of Life and that episode so well that I know how the lines were delivered on the original, and some of the choices that these newfangled actors were making, I did not think served the material.
I'm with you. I don't know if we've connected on the fact that I was for real Facts of Life stan as a young boy in
I
middle
feel like
school.
maybe we have, yeah.
I've never watched it.
Yeah.
What? Get out, Jackie.
I'm so left out.
It was my
Love
favorite
Natalie,
show.
Love Tootie, love Blair, love Joe. Here's the thing, Allison. They
Yeah.
nailed Mrs. Garrett and
Yeah.
they nailed Joe, Catherine G.D. Hahn. And then everyone else they like celebritized, or it's like Gabrielle Union is not for me. Not for me.
Right.
The rest of the casting choices.
I felt that Catherine Hahn was so broad. I mean, it was like a show within a show.
She had the
She was very
physicality.
funny.
She had the physicality of Joe.
But it was
It was
so
like an
over the
exaggerated,
top.
cartoonish version of Joe.
If we're going to talk TV for a second, and then we're going to bring it home, guys, can we talk about, besides Daniel, is anyone watching Station 11?
Love it. My favorite show on TV.
Time, TV time, TV time, TV time, TV time, TV time, TV time.
All right.
Station 11.
You're loving it, Kevin.
Best show of 2021.
So good.
Okay.
by
This
a mile.
is,
I am too.
First episode. I don't want to know anything.
well, we won't spoil anything.
No
Spoil-
spoilies.
No spoilers.
This is a non-spoiling conversation. We're just going to talk about how we feel. Jackie's taking her headphones off. Listen. No, I promise it's no spoiler.
We won't do it. We promise.
No spoiler.
Come back,
no spoiler.
Jackie. It's
spoiler,
safe.
no. Come back.
It's
no
okay,
spoiler. I
Jackie.
promise.
I could still hear without them being on.
I promise it'll be a no spoiler conversation. Everyone is saying this is like the best show ever. And I am finding, yes, critics are. It's got like 97% on Rotten Tomatoes TV and a 63% audience rating. So, and I've already explained that I don't have a great attention span. However, I find myself going, this is the slowest paced motherfucking oh my God, get somewhere interesting. And also, again, not spoiling anything, but it's like, it's going one place. And then all of a sudden now we're on a totally different, it's like, it really is expecting the audience to really stick it out, even though it's doing nothing to hold my interest. So that was my reaction. So I'm like, I've got to see if I'm the only person thinking this. So I went and I read the audience reviews on Rotten Tomatoes TV. Because again, critics 97, 98, 99, 100, I can't remember, but very way up there. And the audience, you know, the people down here with the real people, of which I'm one. Like when Trump said, I love my uneducated fans. You know, that's us.
That's you. Okay.
Yeah. I love my poor uneducated fans. Or what did he say? He said something like that. You know, the real people.
He said,
I'm down here.
Poo poo pee pee dee dee doo doo, and everyone applauded. Like,
yes.
Could have said anything.
Exactly. Anyway, many people's reviews are like this. And by the way, they like love the book, but they feel that this adaptation is boring and trash.
Kevin,
So
do you
that's
think
all.
it's boring?
Do I think it's boring? Absolutely not. I've been riveted every single episode.
Really?
I couldn't disagree more. But I think that
With
Allison,
me.
I think Allison, the way you like to watch TV, it's not for you.
What does that mean?
It's not. Well. Here's what I'll say.
I enjoy an entertaining show that goes somewhere. So no,
She
in that
likes
case, it's not
she
for
likes
me.
a show where she can watch it while not watching it at all, while looking at Instagram or
this
TikTok.
is different. This is a different show.
This is not that
That's
kind of
true.
show.
It's a different sort of genre. Well, and I'll say too, like on a plot mechanic level, because this isn't a spoiler, Jackie. It is about a pandemic. It is about.
I've seen the first episode.
Yeah. Okay. So you've seen it.
Yeah.
But the questions of the show are never like, how did the pandemic get started, or who is this mysterious person? All will be revealed in episode 9. Every single episode is just predicated on whatever like the internal emotional question for each character is. So it's not plotty. There's a story, but it's not like this leads into this, leads into this. And it does, especially by like whatever, episode 7, 8, 9, where we're at now, it coalesces into, oh, this is actually a pretty altogether story, and the things that feel disparate are all
Okay,
the
well,
same
I'm not.
thing.
We're on episode 6, so maybe it's about to
Okay.
coalesce or
Plus,
something. But yeah, it's the kind of show that really doesn't hold your hand, and it expects you to keep up, and I can't do it.
I love that about it, and I love a show that doesn't hold your hand. I love nonlinear storytelling. I like it when a show kind of zigs when you expect it to zag in terms
It's
of where it
surprising.
goes.
I think it's
Yeah.
really surprising in that way.
I think it took huge risks with like it'll have a
With the
story
way it
going on
doesn't
in one
hook
episode.
you.
It'll have an episode that ends with a cliffhanger, and you're like, what's going to happen in the next episode?
You don't
This is
find
what
out.
pisses people like Allison, real plebes like Allison.
It doesn't even end on a
excuse me, I'm talking.
cliffhanger. If it ended on a cliffhanger,
Excuse
I'd
me.
be interested. It
Excuse
just
me.
ends on. Okay, go ahead. It's my show, but go ahead.
And then the next episode will be like something totally different character. You don't even see the
Who's
character.
this person nah. It's like I defy you to become invested.
I don't think
That's
so.
what it-
I think
no,
that
I think it
don't
courts
think so.
investment from a different angle. Sorry, I cut you off, Dan.
No, it's fine.
also I love that I've been thinking about this. The post-apocalyptic story is now becoming a new genre. Like there's westerns, there's this. It's not sci-fi, right? Like for the first time in our culture, we're telling stories about the future that are not science-based, and it reflects a kind of like feeling about our society now that it's like, 50 years ago we were optimistic and everything was, oh my God, it's going to be in space and we're going to explore new worlds. And now when we fast forward to the future, I think because we realize that our society is completely fucked, we're just like, and that, you know, it's not working, that our projection of the future is this post-apocalyptic thing. And you've got all these different kinds of versions of that. And I love that.
Well, I will say, unlike the morning show, second season, I don't know if anyone watched that, but that it took place like during the pandemic that we are in right now. And I was like, there's no part of me that wants to watch a retelling of what's happening now. This, because it's a different pandemic, it's not COVID, I find it like much easier to watch.
Also, it kind of skips past the pandemic of it.
Yeah.
It's like,
suddenly
it's 20 years later or something. Like, it's not.
Yeah. That's why I think like there's been this whole question the last 2 years. It's such a powder puff question, but as far as media goes, when people are making movies and TV shows, like, is this going to incorporate the pandemic? Will Succession season 3 touch upon the pandemic? And some shows have, like Grey's Anatomy, definitely acknowledged it and made it a part of its stories in one of its previous seasons. But I think the initial gut reaction from all of us is like, no, I don't want to see that shit. I want to watch TV shows and movies to escape. But
because we're in the middle of it still.
But the thing about it is that we're about to hit year 3 of being in the middle of it still in a couple of months. And the more time goes on, for me personally, in TV shows and movies, that there's no reflection of my emotional state in my world. And that still, even with Queer Eye in the new season, like, they all have masks off and they're just like hopping around and schlepping around. It becomes such a like a funhouse mirror reflection that's not accurate of your world or what you're going through, that it starts to feel almost like gaslighty or weird of like, everything is science fiction. So I appreciate, like, in its more oblique way, in a flu rate in the show, in the fictional story that has a 99.99% fatality rate, that's still like, it's still far away enough that it doesn't feel triggering, but still close enough that it's hitting upon these like relevant emotions and themes that no one else is really touching, because the assumption too, and the gamble everyone made in production is like, well, by the time this comes out, it's over, or people will not be interested in it by the time this comes out. So I think for me personally, I'm getting too into it, but like Station 11 is kind of helpful for processing some of this stuff and loss and grief. And
they started it.
That I see. Just at the risk of coming off extremely pretentious, one of Emily Dickinson's poems that is my favorite.
Here we go.
And I forget what it's called, but it has the line, "Tell all the truth, but tell it slant. Success in circuit lies."
That doesn't even rhyme.
She wasn't good.
There once was a girl from Nantucket. But anyway, the idea of the poem being, through distortion, through artifice, through art, that's how you get at the truth. And so that's that one aspect of this show I will acquiesce is good. Like, it is good for processing this. The rest of it is hot garbage, but I'll give you that. Listen, you guys, this has been such a fun time. Thank you so much for joining. I love each and every one of you. Listen, if you like what you're hearing, and even if you don't, please leave us a nice review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars. We read the reviews on the show sometimes. Also, I just discovered you can rate podcasts on Spotify. I didn't even realize that. So if you're on Spotify, leave us a rating there. Wherever you're listening, they probably have some mechanism for a rating. So please do, because it helps out the show. Make sure you're subscribed. Listen to my other podcast, Childish and Upworthy Weekly. Upworthy Weekly comes out on Saturdays. What am I forgetting? Follow me on social media at Allison Rosen on Twitter and Instagram. Send in your Just Me or Everyone's. The Just Me or Everyone's are a little thin right now. Tweet them to @ARIYNBF and use the hashtag JMOE for Just Me or Everyone. Jackie, where might we find you? What should we keep our ears and eyes open for?
I really need to promote my ass oil, my ass scrub, and my Kooky Southern deodorant line.
Oh, yeah.
Your scrub is in our shower right now. It smells so good. I use it on my lower half. Like my lower third, I'd say. But I love it. It's in the shower.
I've used all mine up and I want more, but everyone check out the Kooky Southern Ant collection from Source Vital, who sent Kevin a bunch of products when he came on Attribute.
Oh, baby.
Nice.
Sourcevital.com/Natch to check it out. And then obviously we know Natchbute. And I just want to say that if you happen to be a male listener of Allison Rosen and you've been avoiding listening to Natch Butte because you know it's about makeup and beauty, I've really turned the wheel towards the comedy. There's not a lot of makeup talk these days. So I highly recommend everybody come check Natch Butte out. And you know where I'm at on social by now.
Yeah.
Come see those reels. Come see my videos. Just check me out.
I follow you on TikTok.
I'm not playing Wordle. And I'm not gonna.
She's taking a stance.
Yeah.
I like it. A firm stance. Kevin, what about you?
You can follow me at Kevin T. Porter on Peloton, Letterboxd, and OnlyFans. And you can, I do have an OnlyFans, onlyfans.com/Kevin T. Porter. And you can listen to Good Christian Fun wherever you get your podcasts.
Wonderful.
Do you really have an OnlyFans?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, what do you do?
Well, you're going to have to subscribe to find out, hon.
Oh, shit. I might have to.
It's true. It's true.
Whoa.
Are there Kevin T. Porter nudes?
Again, I want to respect and honor the community that we've built behind the paywall and not necessarily leak out what goes on back there.
Wow. This is what explosive news. Daniel, what about you?
Very excited to subscribe to Kevin T. Porter's OnlyFans.
He's getting 3 new subs tonight.
Yeah, you could just follow me, at Daniel Quantz, Twitter and Instagram. I'm also going to be going back to recording my old new podcast, The Watching Hour, wherein I talk about things that Allison hates.
That's not true. But I do hate the way you talk about it.
AKA good stuff.
And Jeff, what about you?
You can find me at Colonel Jeff Fox on the social medias, and also check out the new hilarious hit podcast, The Bad Dates Show with Rob Cohen. It's certified 93% fresh on Kevin Porter's IMDb page. Right now is our Christmas special in which Rob Cohen, the host, and I discuss his run-in a seedy motel with a sexy elf that resulted in him waking up unconscious and covered in pee.
Oh, wow.
What happens in between? You can find out at thebaddateshow.com, available wherever finer podcasts are found.
What a
Wonderful.
tease.
Thanks, you guys. This was so much fun. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen show?